How to stay young longer. Why do some people look young, energetic, and healthy, even at 60, while others start feeling old already in their 40s? Why do some people keep their sharp mind, strong body, and glowing skin for decades, while others lose energy, develop chronic fatigue, and experience rapid aging? Is it genetics? Or is there something happening deeper inside the body? Modern longevity science shows that aging is not only about time. Aging is about what happens inside your cells, mitochondria, and regeneration systems. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here we talk about longevity, anti-aging science, cellular regeneration, metabolism, and health optimization, so you can stay energetic, healthy, and youthful for many years. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern anti-aging medicine involves something called peptides. Peptides and cellular communication. Peptides are small chains of amino acids that act like biological messengers in the body. They send signals between cells and help regulate important processes such as tissue repair, collagen production, muscle recovery, hormone balance, cellular regeneration. In youth, the body produces a large number of signaling molecules that help tissues repair themselves efficiently. But as we age, this communication system gradually becomes less active. Cells receive fewer signals to repair damage, and the body's natural regeneration slows down. This is one of the reasons aging affects skin elasticity, muscle strength, metabolism, energy levels. Researchers studying longevity and regenerative medicine believe that supporting cellular communication may help maintain healthier biological function over time. Peptides are widely studied in the fields of anti-aging medicine, biohacking, and longevity science because they interact with the body's natural repair systems. However, peptides are not a miracle cure. The real idea is to support the body's own self-repair mechanisms. And this leads us to another fascinating area of modern longevity science: stem cells, the body's natural repair system. Stem cells are often described as the body's master repair cells. Unlike most cells, stem cells have the ability to transform into many different types of tissues. This means they can help replace damaged or aging cells in the body. When we are young, stem cells are very active. They constantly help maintain healthy tissues. But with age, the number and activity of stem cells slowly decline. This natural decline may contribute to many visible signs of aging, including slower recovery from injuries, reduced skin regeneration, muscle loss, slower tissue repair. Scientists studying regenerative medicine and longevity are exploring how stem cell activity may support tissue renewal and long-term health. The goal of modern longevity science is not simply to live longer. The goal is to extend what researchers call health span, the number of years a person remains active, energetic, and free of chronic disease. And interestingly, some methods that stimulate the body's repair systems are not medications at all. Some involve controlled biological stress that activates adaptation systems inside the body. In the next part, we will talk about a fascinating technique used in sports medicine and longevity clinics called hypoxic training, which may support mitochondrial health and oxygen efficiency. And we will also discuss a controversial therapy often mentioned in anti-aging clinics around the world: ozone therapy. Because understanding how the body adapts to oxygen may reveal one of the most powerful longevity mechanisms. Oxygen, mitochondria, and longevity. When people think about staying young, they usually focus on skin creams, supplements, or diets. But one of the most powerful longevity factors has nothing to do with cosmetics. It has to do with something every cell in your body needs every second of your life: oxygen. Inside every cell of your body are tiny structures called mitochondria. Scientists often describe them as the power plants of the cell because they produce the energy that keeps your body alive. Every movement you make, every heartbeat, every thought in your brain requires energy produced by mitochondria. When mitochondria function efficiently, the body feels energetic, resilient, and strong. But when mitochondrial function declines, many symptoms begin to appear. People often experience chronic fatigue, reduced endurance, slower metabolism, brain fog, accelerated aging. For this reason, many longevity researchers focus on methods that support mitochondrial health and oxygen utilization. One technique that has gained attention in sports medicine and longevity clinics is called hypoxic-hyperoxic training. Hypoxic-hyperoxic training. Hypoxic-hyperoxic training is a method where a person alternates between breathing air with lower oxygen levels and air with higher oxygen levels. This controlled change in oxygen availability challenges the body to adapt. When oxygen temporarily decreases, the body activates survival pathways that improve the efficiency of energy production. When oxygen increases again, cells may utilize oxygen more effectively. Researchers studying biohacking, performance medicine, and anti-aging science believe that this process may stimulate cellular adaptation mechanisms. These adaptations may support improved circulation, mitochondrial efficiency, oxygen utilization, metabolic flexibility. Athletes have used similar strategies for years when training at high altitudes. Living or training in environments with lower oxygen forces the body to adapt and become more efficient. Some longevity clinics now use controlled oxygen therapy to stimulate these adaptation pathways. However, oxygen is not the only therapy discussed in the field of regenerative medicine. Another controversial treatment sometimes mentioned in anti-aging medicine is ozone therapy. Ozone therapy. Ozone is a molecule made of 3 oxygen atoms. In certain medical settings, ozone has been studied for its potential influence on immune function, oxidative balance, and circulation. Some practitioners believe that carefully controlled ozone exposure may stimulate the body's antioxidant defense systems. These systems help protect cells from oxidative damage, which is one of the processes associated with aging. Researchers studying oxidative stress and inflammation continue to explore how different therapies influence cellular balance in the body. However, ozone therapy remains a topic of ongoing research and discussion in the medical community. The important idea is that many modern anti-aging strategies focus on improving how cells produce energy and adapt to environmental stress. Because when cells become more resilient, the entire body becomes more resilient. And this brings us to one of the most fascinating concepts in longevity science. Sometimes small, controlled stress can actually help the body become stronger and more resistant to aging. Scientists call this concept hormesis. Hormesis means that mild stressors can activate protective mechanisms that improve cellular repair and resilience. 2 methods widely discussed in the world of longevity, biohacking, and metabolic health are fasting and cold exposure. In the next part, we will talk about dry fasting and ice baths, 2 techniques that many people use to stimulate the body's adaptation systems. But these methods must always be approached carefully, because when used correctly, they may support resilience, and when used incorrectly, they may place too much stress on the body. So let's look at what science actually says about them. Fasting, cold exposure, and longevity. How the body activates youth mechanisms. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern longevity science is this. The human body becomes stronger not when everything is comfortable, but when it learns to adapt. Scientists call this biological principle hormesis. Hormesis means that small, controlled stress can activate powerful repair mechanisms inside the body. When used correctly, these mild stress signals may stimulate cellular regeneration, improve metabolism, and support long-term health. 2 methods that are often discussed in the world of longevity, biohacking, and anti-aging science are fasting and cold exposure. These practices are not new. In fact, humans have experienced them naturally for thousands of years. But modern research is now helping us understand how they influence the body at the cellular level. Dry fasting and metabolic reset. Fasting has been practiced in many cultures for centuries. In modern science, fasting is often studied because it can activate a process known as autophagy. Autophagy is sometimes described as the body's cellular recycling system. During this process, cells identify damaged components and break them down, so that useful materials can be reused. Researchers studying metabolism, longevity, and cellular repair believe this process may help support metabolic balance and cellular renewal. Some people in the biohacking community discuss dry fasting, which means fasting without food and water for a certain period of time. However, scientific research on dry fasting is still limited, and it should always be approached with caution. Hydration and medical supervision are important considerations whenever fasting methods are explored. The key idea is not extreme restriction, but allowing the body time to activate natural repair processes. Another powerful stimulus that activates adaptation systems in the body is cold exposure. Ice baths and cold therapy. Cold exposure has become very popular in recent years. Athletes, health enthusiasts, and longevity researchers often discuss ice baths, cold showers, and cold immersion. When the body is exposed to cold temperatures, it activates several protective responses. Blood vessels constrict and then reopen, circulation improves, and the nervous system becomes more alert. Cold exposure may also stimulate brown fat, a special type of fat tissue that helps regulate body temperature and energy metabolism. Some studies suggest cold exposure may influence metabolic activity, inflammation response, circulation, stress adaptation. Athletes often use cold therapy to support recovery after intense training. But just like fasting, cold exposure should always be done carefully and gradually. The goal is controlled adaptation, not extreme stress. The real secret of staying young. After decades of research in longevity science, one important truth becomes clear. There is no single miracle therapy that stops aging. Real longevity comes from supporting the body's natural systems: cellular repair, mitochondrial energy production, metabolic flexibility, immune balance, tissue regeneration. When these systems function well, the body maintains resilience, energy, and vitality. The goal of anti-aging medicine is not simply to increase lifespan. The goal is to increase health span, the number of years a person remains active, mentally sharp, and physically strong. Modern science continues to explore how lifestyle, nutrition, and controlled environmental stress can influence these biological systems. And this is why the study of longevity, anti-aging strategies, metabolism, and cellular health continues to grow every year. If you found this information helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here we explore the science of health, longevity, metabolism, cellular regeneration, and disease prevention. Your body is constantly renewing itself. The question is simple: are you giving it the conditions it needs to stay strong, resilient, and youthful?